What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Man, oh man, do I have something heavy to drop on you today. And I'm not talking about another celebration, another parade down Grand Boulevard, or another Lombardi trophy being hoisted. No, this is different. This is the kind of news that makes your stomach drop, that makes you question everything, that makes you wonder if the dynasty we've been living in is starting to show its first real cracks. Right now, as I'm writing this, there's a storm brewing around our beloved Kansas City Chiefs. And it's not just one problem. It's not just a bad game. It's not just a fluke. We're talking about three massive situations unfolding simultaneously that could define whether this team makes it back to the promised land or falls short of expectations. For the first time in years, picture this. Our division rivals just made a power move that's sending shockwaves through the entire AFC West, directly targeting us and proving they're done playing second fiddle. A defensive superstar who's supposed to be the anchor of our entire defense is going dark on social media after getting absolutely roasted by fans and analysts alike. And if that wasn't enough, a kicker who's been money for us in the biggest moments is suddenly looking like he forgot how to do his job and might need to be replaced. I know what you're thinking, Chiefs Kingdom. Come on, we're the Chiefs. We always figure out. We have Mahomes. We have Reid. We have Veach. And you're right. But here's the thing. When was the last time we faced this many problems at once? When was the last time our dominance felt threatened? Hit that like button right now if you're worried about what's happening to our team. And drop a comment below telling me which of these three problems scares you the most. Because trust me, after you hear what I'm about to tell you, you're going to have opinions. The first situation involves our biggest division rival, the team that's been living in our shadow for over a decade. The franchise that hasn't won the AFC West since 2009. They just made a trade that should send chills down every Chiefs fan spine. They're not rebuilding. They're not waiting for their window. They're attacking right now. And they're coming for our throne with reinforcements that could change everything. But wait, it gets worse, Chiefs Kingdom. So much worse. Which team just made this bold power move? And who did they acquire to dethrone us? Let's dive into the first bombshell, the Los Angeles Chargers. Our division rivals, the team that beat us in week 1, the team that started 3-0 and had Chiefs Kingdom nervous that maybe, just maybe, they were finally ready to end our reign of dominance. Well, Chiefs Kingdom, they just proved they're not messing around anymore. They just made a blockbuster trade that sends a crystal clear message to Kansas City. We're coming for your throne, and we're not backing down. The Chargers just acquired pass rusher Odafe Oweh from the Baltimore Ravens in a trade that should terrify every single one of us. And before you say, who cares? They've made moves before. Let me explain why this is different, why this should make every Chiefs fan sit up and pay attention. Odafe Oweh is a first-round talent. The Ravens took him with a first-round pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, and he's been a force ever since. Last season, he put up a career-high 10 sacks and 23 quarterback hits. This isn't some washed-up veteran looking for one last paycheck. This is a 25-year-old beast entering his prime, ready to wreak havoc in our division. According to Adam Schefter's report, the Chargers gave up safety Alohi Gilman and a 2026 fifth-round pick to get him. Plus, they received a 2027 seventh-rounder from the Ravens in the deal. That's it. That's highway robbery. They just upgraded their pass rush for peanuts while the Ravens, sitting at 1-4 and ravaged by injuries, are waving the white flag on their season. And here's the scary part. Chiefs Kingdom. The Chargers needed this desperately. Khalil Mack is dealing with injuries. Their pass rush was getting exposed. They had dropped their last 2 games after that hot 3-0 start. And instead of panicking or making excuses, they went out and fixed their weakness at the trade deadline. Think about what Odafe Oweh brings to the table. Even in a down year on a terrible Ravens defense, he's tallied 10 tackles and 5 quarterback hits through 5 games. Now imagine him in a better defensive system. Play alongside healthy weapons, going up against Patrick Mahomes and our offensive line twice a year. That's a nightmare scenario. The Chargers haven't won the AFC West since 2009. 16 years of Kansas City dominance. But right now, they're making moves that say, not anymore. They're aggressive. They're hungry. They're not falling into the same traps they've fallen into for the past decade and a half. And you know what the worst part is? Chiefs Kingdom? Brett Veach hasn't done anything. No trades, no splashy signings, no answers to our obvious problems. We're just waiting, hoping, praying that things somehow magically improve while our rivals get better right in front of our eyes. The article said it perfectly. The Chargers had a weakness, and they improved it with this trade. That, unfortunately, should be a clear message to Chiefs fans that perhaps this Chargers organization isn't going to fall into the same traps they previously did. That's terrifying, Chiefs Kingdom, because it means we can't count on them to beat themselves anymore. They're evolving, and we're sitting here at 2-3, watching our division slip away. But here's where things get even more complicated, Chiefs Kingdom. Because while the Chargers are making aggressive moves to dethrone us, our own defense is imploding from within. Chris Jones. That's right, Chiefs Kingdom. Our Chris Jones, the man who signed that massive contract extension. The defensive tackle who's supposed to be the heartbeat of Steve Spagnuolo's defense. The all-pro who we're paying elite money to dominate offensive lines and terrorize quarterbacks. He's officially gone dark on X, formerly Twitter, deactivating his entire account after getting absolutely shredded by fans following that nightmare performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let me paint a picture for you, because this is painful to relive. Monday Night Football, Week 5, prime time. The whole world watching. Chiefs up 14-0 early, looking dominant. And then everything fell apart. The defense couldn't hold. Steve Spagnuolo's unit got picked apart by Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. We blew that early lead in tragic fashion. It was a defense that didn't hold up its end of the bargain late. And Chris Jones, in particular, found himself under heavy criticism for what many interpreted as a complete lack of effort on Trevor Lawrence's game-winning touchdown. Here's what happened. First and goal, Trevor Lawrence takes a snap and literally stumbles and falls at the line of scrimmage. Everyone thought the play was dead, but no, Lawrence gets back up, and because our defensive line lost all discipline on their rush lanes, he scrambles and walks into the end zone. And where was Chris Jones on that play? Stuck in no man's land, looking like he had no idea what his assignment was. The man who's supposed to be our anchor got caught completely out of position, while Lawrence scored the game winner. The backlash was immediate and merciless. Social media exploded. Chiefs Kingdom was furious. People were questioning his effort, his focus, his commitment. Some fans even brought up that sideline confrontation with linebacker Drew Tranquill from Week 1 against the Chargers, where Tranquill was barking at Jones about maintaining rush lane integrity. And you know what Chris Jones did after the game? He took responsibility. I thought multiple times we had him. We just got to finish. We had multiple guys there. We've just got to finish that play. I put it on us as a defense. He even acknowledged the rush lane discipline problems. I think us as a defensive line, other than finishing plays, we've got to be a little more disciplined on our rush lanes. We let Trevor Lawrence get out multiple times today. That's on the D-line. Class act, right? The man owned his mistake. But apparently, the criticism kept piling on, and Chris Jones, one of the toughest players in the NFL, couldn't take it anymore. As pointed out by Mark Gunnels on social media, Jones deactivated his X account completely. If you try to visit Stone Cold Jones, you get this account doesn't exist. He's gone. Think about that. Chiefs Kingdom. Our defensive leader is so mentally shaken that he had to go completely offline to escape the criticism. This is a guy who's played in huge games, who's been to Super Bowls, and now he can't handle what fans are saying. The stats tell a troubling story. The Chiefs defense ranks 14th in EPA per play through 5 weeks. Chris Jones has just 1 sack and 6 quarterback hits while playing 82% of defensive snaps. But here's where it gets ugly. His run defense grade from Pro Football Focus is a horrifying 44.8 out of 100, ranking him 157th out of 186 interior linemen. Chris Jones went through hell this past month too. He left before the Ravens game to attend his aunt's funeral and made it back just in time for kickoff. The emotional toll has to be massive. But here's the hard truth. NFL fans don't care about your personal struggles. When you're making millions and losing games, that's the price of being a superstar. Rush lane integrity remains a glaring problem for this defense. It cost us in week 1. It cost us again in week 5. And if Chris Jones can't get his head right and fix his discipline issues, it's going to keep costing us games. But wait, Chiefs Kingdom. You thought defensive breakdowns were our only problems? Our special teams have become an absolute disaster. Special teams. The phase that Chiefs Kingdom has taken for granted for years because we had Harrison Butker, the most clutch kicker in franchise history, the man who's drilled game winners, nailed 60-yarders, and been automatic when it mattered most. But right now, Harrison Butker is broken, and it might be time for Kansas City to make the toughest decision of the season. Let's talk about that Jacksonville game one more time. Chiefs up 31-27, roughly 2 minutes left. All we needed was to kick the ball deep, pin Jacksonville back, and let our defense make one stop. What does Harrison Butker do? He kicks the kickoff out of bounds, a rookie mistake. Because of that catastrophic error, Trevor Lawrence got the ball at the 40-yard line. Excellent field position, and we all know how that ended. But that kickoff wasn't even the beginning of Butker's struggles. Let me hit you with these brutal stats. 3 missed PATs, extra points, 3 missed field goals, a noticeable decline in accuracy and decision-making. This is the same Harrison Butker who last season hit a clutch 31-yarder to beat the Chargers and clinch the AFC West. The same Butker who set a franchise record with a 59-yard bomb. And now he's playing like he's scared, like the pressure is crushing him. History tells us something terrifying about kickers. Once the yips set in, they rarely recover. Do we stick with Harrison Butker and hope he figures it out? Or do we make a change? There's a name floating around, Matthew Wright. This man has been with Kansas City 3 times. He knows Dave Tubb's system. He knows the pressure of kicking at Arrowhead. In September 2022, he made 3 of 4 field goals, including a then franchise record 59-yarder, and went perfect on 8 PATs. In November 2024, he went 8 for 9 on field goals and nailed a clutch 31-yarder to beat the Chargers and clinch the AFC West Division. Matthew Wright has proven he can handle pressure. He's proven he can win games for Kansas City. And right now, he's waiting for a phone call. The question is, does Brett Veach have the guts to bench Harrison Butker and bring in Matthew Wright? We're sitting at 2-3, Chiefs Kingdom. We have the Lions coming up next, and they're demolishing everyone. We don't have time for Butker to figure it out. We need production. We need reliability. This is a gut-wrenching decision, but it might be the right one. Harrison Butker has been incredible for this franchise, but right now he's a liability. Chiefs Kingdom, it's time to wake up. Hit that subscribe button right now. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you scared of what the Chargers just did? Should we bench Harrison Butker for Matthew Wright? Can Chris Jones dominate again? Do you still believe in this team? We've been on top for so long that we forgot what adversity feels like. But here's the thing about champions. Chiefs Kingdom. Real champions don't fold when things get tough. Real champions rise up and prove why they're champions. The Chargers just made their move with Odafe Oweh. Brett Veach needs an answer. Chris Jones needs to get his head right. Harrison Butker needs to fix his issues or step aside from Matthew Wright. We're at a crossroads, Chiefs Kingdom. The dynasty isn't over, but it's being tested like never before. One final question. Do you trust this team to figure out and get back to championship form? Or is this the beginning of the end of our dynasty? This is Chiefs Kingdom, and we don't go down without a fight. Now get in those comments and let me know. Are you still riding with this team no matter what?